as a warning. This time I got a bit freaky with some of the matchmakings, so don't be surprised about 1, 2 or 3 of my choices. I was a bit influenced by how many fighters already had fights booked. So I had to sort a lot of fighters out who already had fights booked, which made everything kind of freaky. It's, in my opinion, the weirdest matchmaking I've made so far. But maybe a couple of you guys agree, or maybe you can also disagree and tell me in the comments. But yeah, for those who are maybe new, I always pick 10 fights I want to do. So if any fighter from UFC 327 is missing, it's usually because I just have 10 slots in my sheet. So I'm not gonna talk much about Luque fight. I got it wrong. Luque won. Very solid performance, actually. Surprised me. Caught him and submitted him. That's like vintage Luque basically. But he's not gonna be on my list. But the first fighter that is gonna be on my list is Mateusz Gamrot. So I predicted him to win and he won, which means so far I'm 1-1 in predictions. I think like the exact prediction I didn't get any right, but I also don't remember them perfectly, but whatever. But yeah, I predicted Gamrot to win and he won, but I said decision and he actually submitted him, and basically exactly what I said happened. That Gamrot, I don't even get why he fought this guy, because Gamrot is definitely elite level. He beat Sarukian, and yeah, so I didn't get it, but respect to him for taking the fight and showing why he does not belong in a fight with an unranked guy. So next for him has to be a ranked opponent, and one guy that immediately came into my mind is Renato Moicano. So Moicano had a very solid performance. I think it was also round 1 or 2 submission, or was, but definitely he won. And he said, yo, because he also fought an unranked guy, and he said, yo, bitches, don't give me any more unranked fights. I only want opponents that matter. And I feel this would be just a perfect matchup. They both recently beat an unranked guy, and they both are definitely better than unranked guys in my opinion. So let's put them together against each other, and yeah, let's see who wins. I mean, there are always other options too, so my matchmaking. So first of all, shout out to all my new viewers. I got a lot of comments under my last video. I'm so happy you like it, and I also try to remember what you say and maybe even answer to it. But yeah, I was very happy about those. So generally this is just an example. There are definitely other good matchups. I would also like Gamrot versus Benoit Saint-Denis, for example, or why not do a Sarukian rematch, even though I feel like Sarukian just waits for a title shot at the moment, but I'm not sure. But why not, you know? But knowing UFC, I don't think he will get Paddy Pimblett or Arman, so let's do Renato Moicano. Okay, I left his opponent out and we jump to the next fight, which was Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. I predicted Kevin Holland win, but not by decision. And after I saw Randy Brown's leg in round 1, I was like, how the fuck did this guy even make it to a decision? Sorry, little stutter. Yeah, how did it even make it to a decision? Respect. They were very evenly matched. One commenter said it perfectly, and that's lot of options, but all of them are kinda, it doesn't really make sense, but in a way it does make sense. Anyway, so for Kevin Holland there are also different options. There could be the D-Rod rematch. I mean, he bailed him out just to lose. If you don't know the story, go Google it. This guy actually bailed out his opponent out of jail so he can fight him. Then the guy he bailed out beat him. And now he was like, yo, rematch me. So it's worth it that I bailed you out. So we could do this, but I don't know, I didn't really want to see that. We could put him against, this weekend it's Burns versus Mallott. We could put him against the winner of that fight or even the loser of that fight. But when I went through the rankings, one guy that popped into my mind when I just saw the name is another pretty tall, thinner guy, good striking, and maybe some of you already know who I'm talking about. It's Leon Edwards. Guys, don't tell me this couldn't be a fun fight. Kevin Holland versus Leon Edwards, striking masterclass. I feel like this could be a very, very good fight, and honestly, how Leon looked recently, I would not give him any top 10 guys even, probably. I feel like we gotta do a Kevin Holland test and then maybe let's see how his career continues. And I feel like this fight could be a lot of fun. Maybe some funny trash talk also. I mean, Kevin Holland was so funny again. Like, hi, I'm Kevin. Do you want to play? Or something like that. Like, fighting this guy must be so awkward. Not only style-wise, but also because he just keeps talking. And it's not even necessarily trash talk, like malicious stuff, you know. He's just literally talking whatever comes to his mind. That's how it feels like. So yeah, Kevin Holland versus Leon Edwards. Okay, next fighter on the list. I skip Randy Brown again because I have limited slots, but I want to talk about as many fights as possible. So next fighter on my list is Aaron Pico. He won against Pitbull. First round looked very competitive, but then round 2 and 3, you could just see that Pico is way younger, fresher. Just even round 3, the shots still had so much snap behind them, and Pitbull just looked drained. And you know, even if he would have landed a bomb, I don't even think it would have knocked Pico out because the shots felt very weak. And yeah, very, very good performance. Pico also looked good against Lerone Murphy. You can tell me what you want, but I think he didn't get dominated. He ate a spinning elbow and that's it. But until that point, he was very good in my opinion. And also Pitbull performance was very good. Just relentless pressure, very, very amazing and very impressive. So to me, Pico doesn't make sense anymore unranked, guys. Again, he fought Lerone Murphy. It was a competitive fight. So for him, I actually, and that maybe some of you will disagree, but I would give this guy immediately a top 5 or top 10 opponent again, because this guy is the real deal in my opinion, and it was an unlucky spinning elbow KO, so give him a top 10 guy. Featherweight looks very weird. We could do Yair Rodriguez, but I don't really want to see that matchup. Also, I don't know what's with Yair, so no clue where this guy is. We got Lerone Murphy. Do we want to see the rematch? Not really. Evloev should get a title shot. Volk is out for title shot also. What else do we got? Diego Lopez and fights Steve Garcia. So there are was just insane. So I feel like this could be a competitive and fun fight. So I would really like to see Aaron Pico versus Gene Silva, and maybe we can make it happen. Okay, now Pitbull I left out again because I have limited slots. I also left out the Cub Swanson Landwehr fight, maybe short, to mention it shortly. Vintage Cub Swanson almost makes you think, yo, why are you even retiring? This guy looked so good. But I also told you in my prediction, by the way, prediction wise, so far I'm 3-1. So I predicted Gamrot, I predicted Kevin Holland, and I predicted Pico. And I also predicted Cub Swanson, so I'm 4-1 so far. Again, didn't guess the method by which he wins. But anyway, I guessed it right. Very good performance. I said it in the last video. I feel like Landwehr is just the perfect opponent for like a last fight like this for a guy like Cub Swanson, and that's why they chose him. But yeah, super amazing performance. I'm glad he retires like that, even though I'm sad, because this is literally the last, boomer generation, let's call it like that. This is actually the last guy. And when I think back, I saw that guy with the old shorts. Man, maybe some of you, if you just started watching recently, maybe you don't even know how UFC looked back then, but the shorts, the canvas, everything was different. And yeah, to see him go was very sad, but it has to happen sooner or later. And yeah, I feel like that was the perfect ending. So for him, of course, there's no more matchmaking, so it's out. And for Landwehr, I also didn't want to use one of my slots. No disrespect, because I like the guy actually. He never boring fights usually, and respect to him too. So yeah, the next guy on the list is Johnny Walker. First of all, I don't even want to talk about this fight, and I think you all know why. This was literally, even though in this one I didn't predict the winner right, what I did predict right was that it's gonna be one of those fights where you're 100% sure one guy goes to sleep, and then it ends up being a 15-minute snooze fest. And fuck, why did I have to say it? Because that's exactly what happened. Like, I couldn't understand what's happening. It's literally like both of them were just too aware of possibly getting knocked out, and I can't explain what even happened in this fight. And to me it was just like a coin flip who wins, because I personally, but maybe it was my bias because I chose Johnny to win, but I felt like he won, and it was a split decision also. So it was one of those fights where it's literally a coin flip who wins. So neither the winner nor the loser really changes in their position, in my opinion. So there's no way I'm gonna say, yeah, give Reyes a title shot after a performance like this. Like, to me, both of them lost, basically. That's how you can say it. And yeah, a rematch also doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, I had to look for something, and the first guy that came to my mind for Johnny Walker is Alexander Rakic. Maybe my newer viewers don't know that, but I'm actually a huge Rakic fan. He also speaks German, which is, I don't know, maybe you understand it when I say this, but when someone speaks your native language, it's always like you just root for them automatically. I don't know why, it's just like that. And not only that, I really like his fighting style, and I feel so bad for the guy because he's on a massive losing streak. But it's so unfair is very, like, Johnny Walker is very awkward, but Rakic is pretty measured, but has interesting combos, like the knockout where he knocked out, who was it, Ovin Senpru, or I'm not sure, but it was like a 3 combo with a head kick finish, insane. Yeah, so I feel like this could be a nice fight, and hopefully they engage into an actual fight. But with Rakic, you can be sure this guy is gonna try to hit you and not just dance around you and tap your leg. Maybe Johnny Walker and Dominic Reyes had too much respect for each other, because Johnny Walker said at the press conference that to him he beat John Jones. Dominic Reyes did, and to me, by the way, also. But I think I said that. So maybe Reyes was like, "Yo, man, I'm actually so honored that Mr. Johnny Walker said that about me. I can't just knock him out now." Maybe they actually like each other. I don't know, but fuck, man, that fight was so boring. Anyway, so Johnny Walker versus Alexander Rakic. Okay, next fight on the list is the opponent Dominic Reyes. Again, we said everything that has to be said, so I will continue with his opponent right away. For him, because light heavyweight is so fucking awkward at the moment. For him, the only opponent that made sense to me, because even though he didn't win impressively, he won, and you have to give him a bit higher opponent guy, and the guy who I think makes sense would be Khalil Roundtree Jr. He comes off a loss. A lot of other light heavyweights are booked or injured, or maybe other stuff that will happen later in the video will happen, and then it makes more sense why I chose Khalil. I feel like this could be a nice fight. Khalil should fight a bit more down the rankings. Reyes won, so maybe a bit up the rankings. I feel like this Khalil will win this fight 100%. But yeah, I still think it would make sense to see this fight. And if he beats Khalil impressively, then we can maybe talk about not a title shot, but at least a top 5 guy. Even though, wait a second, I think Roundtree is on fourth place. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm doing this on top of my head right now. I don't have my PC, but yeah, let's do Dominic Reyes versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. Okay, so next fight, the heavyweight clash of the century. Not just kidding, but guys, how fucking fun was that fight? I'm so hyped for Hokit, because I said it in the video, this guy could completely embarrass himself, but he just fucking delivered 100%. But also, Curtis Blades, don't want to take away from him. There's always 2 guys, and he also bam, 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 went for it, took a punch. I don't know how either of them did even survive this. Such a fucking amazing back and forth fight. They wobbled, then the other guy wobbled, then we have a scramble, we get a couple of middle fingers, and it just was so much fun. I was literally laughing, like smiling from how much fun I had in that fight. It was so amazing. It was so amazing. And I'm really glad that he won, because I feel like we're gonna get maybe a new character in UFC that is just gonna be fun. You're gonna be excited what will he do next, and his post-fight interview already was kind of legendary, especially the finish was very smooth. A little Shama these nuts. guys, I had so much fun. Give him 200k bonus. This fight was amazing. And guys, you never should say stuff too early, but I call this is gonna be fight of the year this year. Just amazing. So much fun, so much fun. Yeah, so anyway, let's go to the fighters themselves. So we got Curtis Blades, the loser. I usually always start with the loser. Heavyweight is also very weird at the moment. We got the Espinal hurt. We got Pereira versus Gunn title fight. Volkov versus Waldo Cortez is booked because, by the way, it's so disgusting for Volkov. So disgusting. Like, how is this guy cheated so much in his career? Wins against Gunn, then they tell him, yo, we got you. We got you means you get Jailton Almeida. Okay, he got the win deservingly, in my opinion. Now you would think, hey, after that win, you give him his title shot, right? No, give him Waldo Cortez Acosta, a guy that's on a, I don't know, 5 wins from his last 6 fights. Like, I just don't get it. But yeah, I hope Volkov wins. So yeah, anyway, there's a lot of guys gone. And I feel like for Curtis Blades, what would make most sense is not another unranked guy. He fought 2 in a row. Give him a ranked guy in the middle of the pack. And I chose Sergey Spivak. Spivak, solid gatekeeper kind of guy. Wins, loses, wins, loses. He had a pretty impressive win. I don't know anymore who was his last win, but it was very impressive. And I feel like he deserves to fight a bit more higher ranking guy. So yeah, I feel like Curtis Blades versus Sergey Spivak could be a fun fight, but I assume Curtis Blades will be out for a while because I think he had a broken orbital bone and those are nasty. So I don't know if this will even happen, or Spivak maybe wants to fight more often because he didn't take any damage, I think, in his last fight. But yeah, let's make this happen. Okay, now we get to our boy Josh Hokit. Again, thank you so much for that fight. I had so much fun. A very, 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 very amazing fight. For him, the matchmaking was super easy because he already had a fight booked out of nowhere on the White House. Like, what? I thought it was AI, but I went to Topology and it's actually already booked. And it's Josh Hokit versus Derek Lewis on the White House card. I think Trump said Derek Lewis is one of his favorite fighters, so I'm not really sure why he wants him to get KO'd on the White House card. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, to be honest, don't count Derek Lewis out because Hokit caught a couple of punches from Blades, and Blades not Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis can put you out bad. And if Hokit takes punches like that, like the ones he took from Blades, from Derek Lewis, then it's night. So I saw a lot of people say, oh, Derek Lewis sacrificial lamb. I don't agree at all. I don't think this is a sacrificial lamb situation, even though Hokit clearly has speed advantage, age advantage, momentum advantage, the whole character thing, even though I don't think it would work against Derek Lewis, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's a fun fight, don't get me wrong. I'm super hyped. It definitely boosted the White House card, which is still pretty boring, by the way. No, sorry, don't get me wrong. It's fire as fuck, but again, for what was initially promised, it's kinda meh. But anyway, by the way, also to my new viewers, if you want to hear me talk about White House card, in my last matchmaking video, I talked about it. You can rewatch it if you want, and maybe tell me in the comments if you liked it, if you agree with my opinion and stuff like that. Yeah, and thank you again for your kind words. I'm so happy you guys like the UFC content. And just to make clear, I'm not saying I'm a pro or anything. I picked up kickboxing like 2.5 years ago, and I just like watching UFC, and I'm very passionate about it, so I started making videos just because I like it. But don't think I call myself a pro or anything. It's just, I just share my opinion with you, basically. Anyway, Hawkett versus Derek Lewis, White House, let's go for that. I'm super hyped, I can't wait, and I hope they will still add fights to the White House card. That would be amazing. I still would like to see Covington, but he pretty much confirmed already that they told him no, but you never know. So yeah, we got that fight booked, but yeah, so let's continue. Co-main event, the loser of the fight, Azamat Murzakanov. Solid fight. We got vintage Costa back. I told you guys. Oh, by the way, prediction wise, I got Ray's wrong, so 4-2, and I also got the whole kit one wrong, so it's 4-3. But Paulo Costa versus Azamat, I got it right, so I'm 5-3. And I told you the kicks are gonna make a difference, and that's exactly what happened. Guys, I swear to God, I don't even want to take Paulo Costa kicks with a cushion on my head. Like those are like shotgun blasts, man. The kicks are so insane, and you know, when you watch UFC, when you never fought yourself or ever like caught a kick with your arm, it always looks like, oh, he blocked it, you know, he didn't kick his head, he blocked it with his hand. Guys, it still fucking hurts, and your forearms just break if you take too many of those kicks. And I think this is exactly what happened at the end, because he partially blocked the hit, and then like it was a weird TKO type of knockout. It almost looked like he gave up, and when he fell, he wasn't out, but you could just see he was done, and you could also see his arm literally had a dent in it from all the kicks. So the pain maybe just was too much. Like imagine just fighting with a broken arm and still blocking shotgun blasts. So this guy just had enough, but thanks to both, very nice fight, very entertaining. I also had a lot of fun in this fight. Murzakanov, constant pressure, never really gave up on himself until the end. But yeah, vintage Paulo Costa, super amazing. I wanna keep seeing him at heavyweight and light heavyweight. I feel like this is his right weight class. No more draining weight cuts, full force, good cardio. They all say he trains like no one else. I want to see this guy at the top, and he's gonna be the freakiest picks of my matchmaking, I can tell you already, but it's very complicated, everything. You will hear this soon. But yeah, first we go with Murzakanov. So for him, we don't go unranked guy, or we don't go 15th, 14th place, something like that. I feel like he still delivered well. I feel like he definitely needs a top 10 guy. And again, light heavyweight, very, very weird. And there was no guy left other than one. All the other guys were booked, or I chose them for other matchmakings, or they would have been unranked. So literally the only guy left is Jamal Hill, and I feel like this fight makes sense. They both come off say, so it could just be a fun fight in the first place. And I think this could be an entertaining fight. Maybe you can put it on a Dubai fight card or something, as could imagine something like that. I mean, Murzakanov took damage, but I wouldn't say he's gonna be out for a while, so maybe we could see this fight. But I also could see that they maybe do Jamal Hill versus someone else in the meantime. But yeah, again, that's the only guy that was left, because all the other ones already had opponents. I mean, Walker is gone, Rakic is gone, Roundtree is gone, Reyes is gone, Guskov, Jan rematch is booked. Nice, because I predicted that, or I said they should do that. Yeah, so, and 4 other guys are still going to come. So yeah, again, Jamal Hill, only guy left, and I feel like this could be a fun fight. And I would say, let's go for that. And talking about let's go for that, I'm gonna continue with the main event right now. And maybe you can already see where I'm going with this, but it's gonna still stay mysterious for now. But we continue with the main event. And what can I say about the main event? First of all, I'm going to 5-4 because I got that wrong also. I honestly don't know what to say about this fight. I wanted Yuri to win, not only for the prediction, but it's not like I dislike Ulberg, so I wasn't too sad, but it was very heartbreaking, not gonna lie, because I think you all saw it, right? Very unlucky knee injury. It was just, it kind of reminded me of Pantoja, because it was such a random ass injury, not really caused by the fight. In a way it was, because he also with the Van fight, I mean, Van caught his kick, he stumbled him over and he landed on his arm, and that's why he broke it. So of course the break happened from the fight, but I think you know what I mean. It's not really. And the same was with the knee injury. Like, yeah, he made an awkward step, and yeah, you could say it's because Yuri pressured him, but in a way it's still a freak accident. So I don't feel like you could say Yuri dominated him or anything. It was just he had that injury, and from there it was just, I don't know, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe Ulberg stumbled like that from the leg kicks. It's possible, absolutely possible, but I felt to me like it was more of a freakish accident. Blew out his knee. By the way, I'm not sure, and sadly I didn't look this up before doing this video, but I didn't want to stop it, because as I said, I'm making this up from the top of my head right now. So if he's gonna be out because it's an actual ACL tear, then my matchmaking for him is not gonna make sense. But because I want to make a scenario in which we are, I'm making a matchmaking about the fighters that fought. So of course I'm gonna choose an opponent for Ulberg, even if he's gonna be out for 8 to 12 months. But yeah, if he did tear his ACL, the matchmaking I'm gonna tell you later will not make any sense. But yeah, let's say he didn't and he's maybe ready in 6 months, then it would make sense. But anyway, back to the fight. So I got that knee injury, right, and from there, I think not a single person wasn't like, okay, this is over. It's just gonna be more. His leg's gonna be fucked up more and more, and then he will either tap or just the TKO because ref said enough, or he will go back to the corner and maybe the doctor says, nah, this is over. And I feel like this is exactly how Ulberg saw the situation too. so I gotta do whatever I can do. And yeah, check hook KO out of nowhere. Here he goes down. We got a new champion, Carlos Ulberg. After the fight, Yuri said he felt mercy with him, and that's why he didn't go for that. Look, I love Yuri, and a lot of people agreed with him, also fighters, but to me it felt a bit like cope, I'm not gonna lie, because in my opinion he didn't really fight like he was having mercy or anything. He did the mistakes he always does, hands down, goes in with his head, the exact thing he did with Pereira, and I said it in my matchmaking. If he eats shots from people that just knock you out, it's gonna be night-night, and apparently it's not the Pereira hook, but it's almost the Pereira hook, and it was also a left hook, and he caught it on the front of the chin, and boom, he's gone. Ulberg knocks him out with a blown out knee. Respect, man, very, very. And again, to me it felt a bit like cope, because yeah, it's a mistake Yuri always does, and to me this isn't you fought with mercy, you just did what you always did and yeah, paid for it. If you really would have fought with mercy, that's my opinion, then you would have just done nothing and waited for the round to end, and maybe the doctor says it's done, you know. So again, I'm not the fighter, I can just interpret what I see and feel, and to me it was more like cope, but still, big respect to Yuri. I will always love you, dude. Don't give up, stay in the division, do what you do. Title rematch does not make sense to me, absolutely zero. I mean, he lost to a guy with a blown out knee, so yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me, but some low level guy also doesn't make sense. And when I went through the list, one guy after another were guys Yuri already beat, you know, like there were 4 or 5 of them, Reyes, Rakic, Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree, so he cleared the entire division except for Pereira, except for Ulberg, and except for one last guy. They were already talking to each other before this fight even, and the guy I'm talking about is Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed Ankalaev also, no, there's no option of giving him a title shot. I heard rumors of him going to heavyweight, but I'm gonna keep that as a rumor for now and still matching for light heavyweight, and this is exactly why I chose Yuri as his opponent. Both high level guys, both top 5, and the winner of this fight could arguably get a title shot depending on how he performs, but I feel like if Magomed will win, they won't give him a title shot, but if Yuri wins, he might get one. But yeah, I feel like this could be a fun fight. Again, there's a history already between them, a bit of trash talk, and I feel like these are two very well matched guys, and yeah, I feel like this makes sense. Okay, and now, last but not least, we got a new champion of the light heavyweight division, Carlos Blackjack Ulberg. Round of applause. Congratulations, new champ. We gotta make a matchmaking for him too. And if you guys were aware and you paid attention, then you know that one guy is still missing for some reason. And the opponent for him I chose, and now maybe a couple of you will laugh or will think, what is this guy smoking? And the second question, good stuff. Check my vaporizer vaporizer videos if you want. They are fire as hell, I'm not gonna lie. That's not a joke. I've actually got vaporizer and weed strain videos, so if you're interested, go look them up. And for Carlos Ulberg, we choose Paulo Costa. Now hold on, let me cook. Again, most of the guys are out already. Paulo Costa seems to be a light heavyweight now. He comes up, vintage, super performance. We have him at heavyweight now. He beats the unbeaten number 6 guy, and he's a fan favorite already. He has hype behind him. He's always funny at press conferences, got a lot of fans. Just like from the name, it would already make sense. I feel like his performance was amazing, and I feel like you could really argue to give him a title shot after this. Now, why didn't I choose Yuri or Magomed as his opponents? And I'm telling you why. Both would make perfect sense. Perfect sense. Yuri versus Costa. Holy shit. I would cinema. And also Ankalaev. But what do I do with Ankalaev and Yuri then? I can't give either of them a title shot. And I also, you know what I mean? I can't give them a title shot, so I have to put other enemies for them. And the only guy left is Paulo Costa, and I feel like it just makes sense. Wouldn't that be a cool fight? I think Costa already said something about this is the BLF fight or something, best looking fighter fight or something. This guy is crazy, man. So yeah, I feel like this fight could be a lot of fun. I really want to see it. I feel like Ulberg is kind of a light heavyweight Adesanya. No disrespect to Adesanya, it's not the same, but I kinda see similarities. So if he is, then it looks bad for Costa. But yeah, I could see this fight. But now we get a little bonus edition and something we never had yet before in my matchmaking prediction. We get an 11th fight. And now, let's say we actually have this scenario that Ulberg is out with a knee injury. Then what are we gonna do? It's 1 year. We have to make at least interim title fight. And if Costa is 1/2 of the interim fight and we leave him as that, who would you think could make sense as an interim title opponent? Now, hold on 3 seconds. I let you think. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now tell me in the comments what you thought in those 3 seconds. And now I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think what would be a lot of fun would be if he fights against Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev has upcoming fight versus Strickland, which he probably will win. But this is why I love this sport. You never know what is gonna happen. I mean, look at Hokit Blades. I think almost everyone thought Blades will win. So everything can happen in the sport. But I think he will win. He was already talking about going to light heavyweight and the whole double champ thing. Khamzat has such hype behind him. I feel like he can probably ask for everything at this point, especially if he beats Strickland too. And if he really wanna go up to light heavyweight, put him against Paulo Costa. It makes perfect sense. They have such a long history of beef. They were scheduled against each other already. Fight then got cancelled because Costa had an injury, but the back and forth is there for a while. Then also Costa already said at the presser, hey, I already beat one Russian guy. Now I'm gonna beat another one. He's talking about Azamat Murzakanov, and then he said, and after I beat this fat Russian guy, then give me Gourmet Chechen. The third Russian guy, you know, so he get the triplet complete and beats 3 Russian guys in a row. Guys, I don't know what you say, but I think this could be so much fun. We get a Shimaev, Costa, light heavyweight interim title fight. Personally, I would say cinema. But yeah, let's see what's happened. It's a very wild division, and I can't wait to see what will happen in the next month, what the matchmakings are gonna be, and yeah, how everything turns out. So guys, this was a longer one, but it was a fun card and a lot to talk about, so I just yapped as much as I could. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really curious what you think about my matchmaking. Is Paulo Costa as title fight too freaky in your opinion, or do you agree? Would you like to see that? Do you think it makes sense what I did there with the Yuri Magomed situation and why I chose Costa over them for a title shot? Tell me in the comments. Like if you like the videos, subscribe if you like the videos. That would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.